What's up guys, Langosta here. Today we're in the beautiful Mojave. We're testing out some new ammo. I got my trusty Smith & Wesson Model 29 and my Diamond D holster, and I've got some Underwood ammo. 44 Magnum, Lehigh Defense, 160 grain projectile. Underwood ammo, real nice case. They always go with the stylish nickel case. We're gonna do an accuracy test. We're gonna evaluate the recoil, and we're gonna make sure that it's not overpressured sticking in the gun. Let's go. Holy fuck. So for those of you who've never seen this gun before, we've done some other videos on it. It's a Model 29-2 pinned and recessed cylinder. See that little recess in it so it sits flush? Honestly, of all the 44s that I have, this is my favorite. It's a super accurate gun. So we're gonna test accuracy first. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna rest myself on the sandbag, and let's see if we can get a few shots in one hole. Guys, before I forget, I do wanna share with you one thing. This is light for caliber. So normally 44 mag standard weight is 240 grains for the projectile. This is a 168 grain projectile, and it's going at 1,800 feet a second. So we're not only gonna do an accuracy test, we've got the chronograph here, we're gonna double check our velocities. We got a 6.5-inch barrel in our Model 29, and let's see how she does. Safety first, guys, eyes and ears. Here we go, let's get her set up. Here we go. Holy fuck. Wow, that is significant recoil. Well guys, it is going 1646 on shot number 1. Here we go, shot number 2. God damn. All right, 1625. Ooh, that was nice. We got 2 on 1 hole. All right, let me do one more shot because honestly, I think I may have flinched on the first one. And I got to do a little slight sight adjustment. So I'm going to hold the top hole. Hopefully we'll get 3 in 1 hole. God damn. That's pretty cool. All right. So one of the indicators you're a little bit over pressure would be if the primers were flat and if the casing was sticky. And doesn't look like they're sticky. A couple of them are wiggling out. Yeah, no problem at all. Those came out pretty easy. Let's take a closer look at the casing. So I'm inspecting the primers. The primers aren't flat. The recoil is substantial. Casing looks good. The casings were not stuck in here. You could definitely tell that they were jamming. Here's the interesting part. You try and put it into another piece, and they definitely expanded. See how they won't go back in? I think that casing's where I pulled it out, but once they're spent, they really don't want to go back in there. The range is cold. Let's go down range and see how we did. So the accuracy looks acceptable. Let's go back to the bench and see what our velocities were. We're going to look at the average velocity and standard deviation on the velocity. All right, let's take a look at the chronograph here. We got our little Garmin unit, and I'm going to read you off our shot list. Let's take a look. We've got 1646, 1625, 1657, and 1656 with a standard deviation of 10 feet a second. So accuracy-wise, that's pretty good. So our average for 4-shot total, granted 4 shots is not a lot. Normally, if you were doing a rifle testing, you would do something like 20 or maybe even 40 shots. But the standard deviation is only 12 feet a second, and the average is 1646. So it is a little bit under what it says on this box, 1,800 feet a second. That may be out of a rifle, because typically you could get 200 feet a second more on a rifle. We're not testing rifles today, we're just doing the handgun. So as far as velocity, it's still screaming. 1,600 feet a second is very fast. I think that as I work up the perfect 44 Magnum load, I'm gonna try and go for the sweet spot of 1,450, maybe 1,550. And what I'm going for is, the goal of the velocity is to have a shot-to-shot recovery that's faster. So this to me feels like the recoil is pretty stout because it's going pretty fast. So with that Lehigh Defense bullet, I don't think it's ever going to be a problem on penetration.
That's what she said.
So the question is, what is a velocity that's going to be acceptable, but is going to have a positive shot-to-shot recoil implication? So I think that if we're rating this on accuracy from 0 to 5 being super accurate, I think that it's probably 3.5, maybe even a 4. Mostly because of the impact and the recoil, it does give you a little bit of a flinch there. As far as the cases being under pressure, I think they're fine. I think that they're probably a 4.5, so that's okay. And the recoil, I probably give it 3.5, maybe 4. I don't love it. I wish it was a little bit milder. It's a little bit snappy. Now, is this something that you could train through? 100%. Does this mean that this is ammo is no good? No, this is good ammo. I think that a heavier projectile going a little slower may be the right recipe for this. So we'll be testing some Barnes ammo in another video, and we'll make sure we link it to this one, because this is going to be our 44 series on 44 ammunition for trail gun. So we're going to shoot with not an enormous gun. Everything will be 6 inches or smaller as far as the barrel length. And I'm going to keep the Model 29 as our test gun. When you're considering a trail gun and a trail caliber and ammunition, you have to take into account the performance of the ammunition, the performance of your gun, and the performance of the shooter under pressure. So if you like the load, the likelihood of you practicing with it is going to be higher. That's why it's important. And you want to also dial in your sights to the load. Once you find a load that you like, you want to dial in your iron sights to that load. If you use a red dot, same thing. You don't want to be, as your trail gun, you want to make sure that the ammo that you use is spot on so that the performance is there when it counts. Leave a comment and make sure you go to riflesrodsandbroads.com. We've got a lot of blog articles there, and we're posting new stuff all the time. And we have a series on 44 Magnum, so make sure that you like and subscribe so you're notified of our next posted video. Langosta signing out.